A brand new TV spot for Jurassic World Rebirth has been spotted in the wild. It features all new footage, but not only that, there is with even more new footage, including a behind the scenes look and new interviews. There are supposedly some big Rebirth drops later this week, so let's get into the details and go over all of the latest from this movie. Now, I will be honest up front and say that I have to tread carefully. Some of this new footage and information that we are about to discuss cannot be shown publicly. Universal appear to be issuing takedowns across all channels, so we will be treading carefully, but we can talk about it. Starting with the new TV spot. Thank you to Josh for sharing this with us. Jurassic World Rebirth TV spot during the NCAA Women's Championship game. Watching the TV spot, it does play out like a cut down of the main trailer. The full Rebirth trailer, however, there are a handful of new shots that are worth checking out. First up, we have a shot of Jonathan Bailey's Dr. Henry Loomis with Duncan Kincaid in the background. They appear to be in a swamp location here where the production photos show the group wading through deep water. Dr. Loomis gives his line from the trailer, "Survival is a long shot." This shot is quickly followed by a new shot of Scarlett Johansson's Zora Bennett. She is on a beach here along with some of the crew and their equipment. The shot does not last for long and is accompanied with her voice saying, "Let's go," and another shot where she loads her gun. The trailer plays more familiar shots until we are underwater and get a new shot of Manuel Garcia Rolfo's Ruben Delgado facing off against the T-Rex, which really is a beautiful shot. As I'm sure many of you are, I'm really looking forward to this underwater sequence play out. This whole river raft sequence is going to be pretty great to see. Unless I missed it, there are no other new shots in this TV spot, although interestingly it does end with a voiceover that just says Jurassic World, no Rebirth.
Jurassic World, in theaters July 2nd.
A great little spot with not too much new, but it does show that a new trailer, a full new trailer, is definitely on the way. There will probably be a few more of these TV spots going forward, concluding with the release of the full trailer too. If you checked out our last video, then you will know that all new footage from Rebirth debuted at CinemaCon, but is yet to be released publicly. Well, it looks like Universal have some sort of release plan in place because a couple of exclusive previews over the coming weeks will unveil some of this new footage from the movie. First up, it's the exclusive Collider preview. They say exclusive content is on the way. Get ready for fresh looks at Ballerina, behind the scenes insights on How to Train Your Dragon, thrilling updates on the next Jurassic World, and so much more. Tune in next week for big reveals. Empire magazine are next with the exclusive. The ultimate summer blockbuster turns 50. Empire's 50 Years of Jaws issue pays tribute to Steven Spielberg's terrifying masterpiece with Hollywood legends and contemporary guests celebrating the film's legacy. On sale 10th of April. As you can see, Rebirth is on the front cover there, and the website states, plus there's plenty more inside the magazine. We talk Jurassic World Rebirth with Scarlett Johansson. So new previews for Jurassic World Rebirth are coming this week. Stay tuned, of course, as I will keep you updated on that. There is lots to come, lots already out there, even more later this month. On April 22nd to April 24th, Fandango are hosting a sneak peek showcase. This brings the famed industry insider event CinemaCon and its studio content to the masses, with a fun look at trailers, some never before seen footage, and behind the scenes content from the upcoming theatrical slate. So this is a real event, one you will be able to purchase tickets for, and will more than likely feature the same footage that Universal previewed at CinemaCon, meaning of course that the Jurassic World Rebirth footage will be shown there. From what I can gather, that entire Rebirth clip from CinemaCon was around 4 minutes in length and featured new footage from the movie, but also behind the scenes interviews and clips showing the movie as it was being filmed. This definitely aligns with what I will talk about in a minute, but it's likely that whatever this CinemaCon debut footage was won't be released publicly online until at least after April 24th. Now, speaking of behind the scenes, a new behind the scenes trailer is currently being shown in select theaters. I'm not sure where exactly, but I think this clip was recorded in Canada. Some recordings are being shared online, although they are all getting taken down. So for obvious reasons, I cannot show it in this video. However, I can talk about it. So in this new trailer, which appears to play before the lights are turned down when people are still arriving into the cinema finding their seats, we are seeing behind the scenes footage of the crew shooting in Thailand filming Jurassic World Rebirth. We see the long grass scene. ScarJo is being interviewed and she says it's really gone back to basics of the Jurassic films. She is being interviewed inside the temple set, which honestly is looking great, and new shots from the movie are playing. Again, unfortunately I can't show them, but we do see a beautiful waterfall shot with Ruben and his daughter. This shot is undeniably Jurassic Park. It looks like Isla Nublar. A new shot of Mahershala in the water holding the flare, a shot of the vehicle, interestingly a close-up on the vehicle's Jurassic icon that sits on the side of it. We then get an interview with Gareth himself, who says that the script felt like a love letter to Spielberg, and we've heard this before in other interviews when Gareth spoke about how the movie was heavily inspired by Jaws. There are more shots of the filming, including Martin Krebs on the beach, but here is a big plot spoiler, something that hasn't been mentioned elsewhere yet. Jonathan Bailey says that the 3 DNA samples could find the solution to heart disease. This could be some sort of misdirect for the actual mission, but will also likely take a backseat once the mutant dinosaurs wreaking havoc on the island starts. But it's certainly an interesting plot point. It's very interesting that Rebirth is choosing to focus on a real world disease, which definitely makes things more relatable. According to some studies, heart disease is the 2nd leading cause of death in Canada and is also incredibly high in the US. So it's certainly something that many can relate to, whether personally or with somebody they know being affected by some sort of heart disease, be it myocarditis or otherwise. Anyway, I hadn't heard that about the plot before, although many of us did wonder if DX, Disease X, would play a part in the story, but apparently not. There isn't a prion disease threatening the world, but instead heart disease is something that Parker-Genix are hoping to cure. For those unaware, Parker-Genix is the company that Martin Krebs works for, the guy spearheading Zora's mission. Back to this footage, Jonathan Bailey is also being interviewed in front of a set which is so incredibly Isla Nublar in 1993 and honestly looks quite different to the other architecture that we've seen in Rebirth so far. What Jonathan Bailey is sitting in front of looks much more dated. I think it also helps that the jungle is so incredibly warm in this shot. We see more beautiful shots from this film. Rupert Friend also gives an interview giving some plot details about the talented group of people with this very difficult and dangerous mission. A few notable shots here feature Martin Krebs driving the vehicle while holding the briefcase containing the samples, and there is a shot of that vehicle speeding out of the gas station set. We also see a new shot of the mutant red tank sequence, which up until this point is believed to be a prequel, or at least not a scene that takes place in the film's modern timeline, but an event that happened prior to the events in Rebirth. We see, presumably inside the red tank, as 2 workers run for the exit. The shot is quickly followed by the shot that we have seen in the trailer of the mutant and the guy alone in the tank. So there are more behind the scenes shots in this footage that shows the boat sequence being filmed in Malta, a great shot of the lights turning on at the gas station set with a vehicle parked outside, the temple entrance set that was also filmed at Elstree Studios, and then we see Manuel Garcia Rolfo, who appears to be inside the gas station set. We get a couple of other shots that show himself, who I believe is his daughter Teresa, and Xavier, or Xavier, however you want to say it. They are creeping through what we presume is the shop at the gas station. There's food on the shelves and the lights are turned on. I'm very curious what the deal is with this island. We know InGen had a large presence there. This is InGen's island, and the trailers are telling us that this island was the original research facility for Jurassic Park, which gives the presumption that the island has been abandoned for a very long time. But how long did this island stay operational? Some of the architecture we've seen so far would suggest that the island had people on it well into the 2000s, but honestly, we just don't know. This store is almost looking pristine. I mean, yeah, sure, there's dust, but it doesn't look decades old. Maybe that's just me. Maybe that's just the low resolution copy I'm watching. Anyway, a couple more shots in this behind the scenes footage. We see this location, which showed what looked like old mining equipment, and then more shots of the group wading through the swamp. Gareth then is back and he talks, saying that this is the first movie he has ever shot on film, the first time he has ever held a 35mm camera, and that it all felt alive. There's then a couple of montage shots, and then the whole thing is over. It's a very cool look at the movie, and I'm a bit surprised that it hasn't been released online, but it's certainly something that would be cool to see in the cinema, and I'm sure you can find it floating around online, but this is a theater-only exclusive, and Universal appear to want to keep it that way, at least for now. So if you want to see this trailer, if you want to see some of this footage, your best bet is to just go to the cinema and see it there. Perhaps somebody in the comments can specify which chains are actually showing this footage. Again, I think the footage was from Canada, but I honestly have no idea. So to summarize, it's looking like later this week there will be 2 Rebirth promotional drops with interviews and stills, most likely, especially with Empire. There may be new footage later this week, if not until April 22nd to 24th at the Fandango event. I think over the next couple of weeks we can expect to see further cut downs of the behind the scenes footage and more TV spots showing up here and there. The last thing I want to go over, and again, unfortunately, it's something I can't visually show, but for whatever reason, the entire Jurassic World Rebirth brand asset guide released and contained renders of new dinosaurs, information about the story, the movie. There's a lot in here, and I'm obviously not going to show any of it. I'm very surprised that it leaked, but it's certainly out there. There's certainly a lot that can be gleaned from it, and from what I can gather, a lot of people have taken a look at this information. So here we are. I'm going to summarize some of it, but again, I won't be showing any of it, and who knows, this part of the video might end up getting cut anyway. Again, I cannot and won't be showing it, but some interesting information from this drop, which you can consider spoilers, are as follows. There are high resolution renders of all of the dinosaurs in the movie except for the mutant creatures, so those appear to be top secret. There are renders of the baby Aqualops dinosaur and even a piece of art showing the dinosaur in a child's backpack, so we can infer even more about the relationship that this dinosaur has with Isabella Delgado. There are some gorgeous visuals of this island giving off the old tropical sightsee vibes. There are renders of the temple, the vehicle, the boats. Again, I'm sorry, I cannot show any of this. None of this should really be public knowledge, so I will respect that, of course. It's mostly just great illustrations for things that we have seen in the trailer and in other marketing materials, but with greater context and detail for the Jurassic World brand. With that, of course, there's icons for land, sea, and air. Those distinctions are obviously a major theme in this film. Color palettes, fonts, so obviously stuff we cannot talk about. Each dinosaur has a somewhat cartoony render with some information about the species and such. And I gotta say, when it comes to the dinosaurs, they're looking, I don't know how else to say it, but they feel like a really great evolution that would have come after Jurassic Park 3. Anyway, whatever. I'm sorry I couldn't show any of this, and hopefully you understand why. I wanted to at least give some summary because people are aware of this information is being shared around. I'm sure many of you probably have seen some of these documents, but they're out there. I would encourage you to probably not look at them because honestly, it was all internal documents. None of it was meant for public consumption. Wait for the trailer. I don't know. That's the update. There's much more coming. Keep your eyes peeled, and apologies only having just got to this video now. It has been a busy couple of weeks, but thank you so much for all of the support, the likes, the comments. It means the world, and I will catch you in the next video.